If you've ever struggled with negative thoughts about your body or have basically really weighed yourself down with self-critical thoughts about the way that you look, you're definitely not alone. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 thoughts that you can use to really shift your mindset and embrace your body and find peace once and for all. It's really important to recognize how our thoughts really shape the way that we feel and the way that we act. I've definitely noticed that for me and myself in my life. And so I want to identify and share with you 5 thoughts that I've struggled with, but kind of focusing on the alternative that I'm meditating on and focusing on intentionally in order to just break free from negative body image and the way that I can just talk down to myself. The first rational, truthful thought that I am intentional about is there's so much more to me and so much more value to me than just my appearance. And so before, I would oftentimes struggle with the thought that I wasn't lovable or attractive or worthy of attention if I didn't look a certain way, if I didn't weigh a certain amount. And it really took God opening my eyes to the fact that that is so untrue. And when we meditate on things that are not true, the fruit of that is sadness and anxiety and worry and body image issues and gluttony or binging. And so I really had to test that thought and really look at, what is the truth here? Is my value just based on the way that I look or the way that I weigh? Or is there more to my value than just that? Am I still lovable and of value to the world no matter what I look like or what I weigh? I know that the answer of that is true. God created all of us, all humans in his image. Therefore, we are all special in his sight. We're all called and have a mission and a purpose. And that mission or purpose does not change or get deleted just because we gain 30, 40 pounds or lose 30, 40 pounds. It's all about the heart. God wants to see our heart transformed more than he wants to see a body transformation, and that's ultimately what's going to matter the most. Number 2 is my progress is unique, and it's okay that it's not like a perfect, track downwards, not upwards, of losing weight and maintaining it and being perfectly one size all the time. There's a reason and a mission behind every struggle that we all have, including myself. I didn't struggle with weight a lot as a kid. I didn't start emotionally eating, I think, until I was like in my 20s or so. And it's been sort of an up and down struggle of trying to figure out not only what works in terms of dieting and exercise and lifestyle changes, but in this recent phase of my life, in my late 30s, and now I'm 40, I've recognized how much more important my mental health is and my spiritual health. And really prioritizing those two is going to be the most important foundational aspect in order to get to a healthy place physically. And ultimately, it's okay that your journey or my journey is different and messy and not perfect. That's okay, because there's a reason behind that. You're not going to be the only one going through that. And I just love the encouragement of that. Like, it is true, and that truth is going to resonate with someone. And I'm going to be able to help someone who has a similar journey as mine, just like you'll be able to help someone who has a similar journey to yours, whatever it may be, whether it's addiction or, being really underweight versus being really overweight, whatever the case may be. God wants us to use all of that for his glory. He can turn good out of bad things. It doesn't mean that everything that's going to happen to us is good. God works all things together for good to those who are called according to his purpose. So even out of all these struggles that we have, we can use it for something good and honorable and use it to help others. And that's such a beautiful encouragement to me. If you're finding this helpful, please remember to like and subscribe. It is my goal to post videos every Friday and, just to kind of do not just a video diary of my experience, but also to, have this kind of be sort of mission minded. I want to share what I'm learning, what I'm trying, what I'm testing, in order to help someone where I'm struggling in order to help others. So if you're on a similar journey or that sounds interesting to you, please subscribe and like. Oh, and I also have a devotional book that I worked on too that really builds on how to think in a way that is honoring to you and to God and to help you heal mentally and spiritually. So if you want to look at that, or if you want to download that free devotional workbook, you're going to have to look at the comments because I think since my YouTube channel is so new, I can't post um, links in the description yet, but hopefully soon. The next rational, truthful thought that I am choosing to meditate on, and it's been so helpful over the last few months, is I can enjoy food without shame. There's more that I would even add to that. Like, we need to eat, and being stuck in that cycle of not eating, thinking that you need to restrict to this extreme where you're fasting, but then maybe the fasting does not work for you, and that is okay. Recognizing that to be true for you. Hey, maybe there's a lot of women in your life, people that you know who do alternate day fast or intermittent fast and skip breakfast. But if you notice that for you, that just sets you into this habit of chronically overeating later in the day and being stuck in, a weight that you know is not healthy for you, does not honor your body and your temple, then it is okay to recognize and realize that for you, that mindset is not going to work. And that's something that has helped me the most over the last few months, is recognizing that I can enjoy food without shame. I can eat 3, 4, 5 meals a day, and I can make conscious, healthy, nutritious, decisions 80 to 90% of the time, and enjoy, those treats that I know are processed and maybe not nutrient dense. I can fit it in, and it's not a cheat meal, and it's not a bad thing. I didn't fail. It's part of my day. It's part of my week. It's part of my lifestyle. It's just a matter of finding what works for me in terms of like balance, macros. Some people do macros, some people do calorie counting. Right now I'm testing WW, and I do like it. For me, it's just easier. Maybe I'll do a specific video to that later on. But anyway, ultimately, just remembering that you gotta eat. We need fuel. Everybody's different. And you don't have to have shame about having a sweet treat or processed foods. You can let go of that shame. That's really important. The next thought is learning how to compare in a way that is edifying and encouraging and not demeaning. So, what I mean by that, sometimes you might hear people say, oh, comparison is the thief of joy. I don't think that's true, because comparison at times can be a good thing. I see girls at my gym who are older than me, in their 40s and 50s, who are super fit physically, and honestly, I can choose to look at that as a way of feeling ashamed that I'm not in good shape, or I can choose to look at that as an inspiration. Like, they're different than me. I can see that true comparison, that I'm heavier for my height. My cardiovascular capability is not on par. I'm not able to run a mile like they can in 8 minutes. And that's okay. I can get there one day if I decide to do that. If I work out consistently and commit to CrossFit 3 days a week for a year, it's highly probable that by this time next year, I will be much more fit than I am now and will be able to run a mile in 10 minutes or less. And that's cool. And that's encouraging and exciting for me. So I don't have to compare and kind of look down at myself. I can compare and see people who are doing better than me and see them as a source of inspiration. And that's true not only for fitness, that's true for ladies in my life who know more theology than me, know more about politics than me, know more about nutrition, or fill in the blanks. It's an inspiration to have people like that in our life that we can learn from. And so that's a great way to look at it. The last one is I am capable of challenging and identifying and challenging negative self-talk. Being able to think about our thinking and kind of recognizing, oh, I just had this thought and it was actually really negative, and the fruit of that is going to be me struggling with my goals as opposed to me really hitting my goals. That's important for me to be able to recognize. Like, I can recognize them, I can challenge them, and I can choose what I think about, and I can choose to kind of rework that thought into a way that's going to help me. For example, what I just shared with you about comparison, right? That's just one example of the five that well, four that I've already given you here, but there's many more from there. So if you want to see a future video of all the thoughts that I'm working through as I am doing CrossFit, working on WW, my goal is to get down to a healthier weight, which based off of the charts and the data that I see for my height, I got to lose about 40 pounds or so. Actually, I think it's 48 last time I did the math. So I got a journey ahead. I'm excited for the journey. I'm excited that I have this new rational mindset and way of looking at things that I do believe is going to lead to lasting, sustained change. And then on top of that, having in-person community, with CrossFit. And on top of that, now a digital online community with those of you who are watching is going to be really inspiring. So I hope you join me for future videos where I will share more. If any of these rational alternatives sounded interesting to you, or you have any questions or want help, reworking, reframing some negative thoughts, leave it in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.